Hello, everybody. Welcome. Episode 78. Entirely left out the word 2 there. Welcome to episode 78 of Planet Film Live. We got a new trim look on the new channel. You peep the new channel banners across all three channels.
The new channel. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very, very sleek. Thank you guys for joining us. I am one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
I'm your other host, TJ Cornwall. And so after looking, I don't think maybe they took it off.
What, anything goes?
No, the DraftKings Oscars thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't see it on there.
So before we went live, TJ was talking about how he was going to place a bet for Best Picture on DraftKings for the Oscars on Sunday, because obviously those are coming up this weekend. It's what we're going to be talking about a little bit later on in the show. But it looks like that is no longer an option. Is that what I'm hearing?
Maybe it might have been. This headline for this article says DraftKings is offering pre-nomination Academy Awards market. So maybe it was just for what would be nominated, but that doesn't make any sense because that's like a gazillion things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
you could bet anything to be nominated, unless they just maybe DraftKings just isn't doing it anymore. Well, then in that case, I could just delete the app. I'm not talking into the mic. There we go. So this is episode, what was it, 78? 78, crazy. We watched, a few movies lately. Sean has his X review up. I watched Deep Water with Ana de Armas and Ben Affleck and Jacob Elordi, as well as... He's in it.
Okay.
He's in it for, not the entire movie. I'll say that. Jacob Elordi and so that movie, and then I watched Belfast as well as Winning Time episode 3. If I can give you a quick rundown of Deep Water.
Okay. Because I don't care. I don't know about what we want to do for people watching or whatever, but I don't care about spoilers because I'll probably still check it out. But. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna spoil the hell out of Deep Water.
Okay.
So if you're watching this right now and you don't want to get spoiled,
we should preface as well. He's gonna spoil it. If you do want to see it, I'll let TJ say his thoughts, but the general consensus is that it is not a movie that you should get too personally invested in caring about the spoilers.
Right.
I don't think you're going to be missing much. So
so I'm going to spoil this movie. Sorry. Deep Water is just not that good, I'll be honest.
Damn. What is it, just disconnected, or is it something in the characters that just...
Well, first of all, I didn't know what the situation was between the two of them. So Ana de Armas and Ben Affleck are married.
Oh, the characters.
Sorry.
The actor, I was like...
But I was just kind of like, during the movie, they don't really explain much. So I didn't know what... I was like, are they married? Because you see them... going to this party and Ana de Armas is making out with somebody else in front of Ben Affleck, and it's like, okay, is this like a swingers thing? Mm-hmm. Like, what is going on here?
Or is this like a flashback?
Right, well, I didn't think it was that, but it was just very confusing. I was like, is she, what is the deal? But apparently in the description of the movie, it's like they're married, but to avoid a divorce or a messy divorce that I guess neither of them want to go through,
keep it open or something?
They keep it where Ana de Armas can just get with anybody she wants, and they stay married.
Sounds like that could land them in some deep water.
Exactly. But twist. Ben Affleck basically kills all her lovers. Basically.
What?
Yes, that is.
Whoa!
Yes.
I didn't.
Which I looked at Danielle like.
Oh my god.
Quarter way into it, I go, are you sure this just isn't the accountant too? Like. Yeah. Because he's just killing people.
When is the accountant too?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Except one of them. He doesn't. One of them, the first one you're introduced to, he doesn't kill. He intimidates by saying he killed the previous one. And it is just kind of, I don't know, a lot of it, some of it doesn't make sense. The ending to me doesn't really make sense. Some of it, I feel like she just kind of, because he is accused by multiple people of killing people. And there is one clever thing he does in a way as a clever alibi, I'd say, to get out of killing actually Jacob Elordi. Spoiler, he kills him. So when I say he's in it, he's literally in it for like 5 minutes. Like he's not really, which was like, oh, okay, that was kind of smart. But
was he likable in it, or did he
Jacob Elordi?
Did he just feel like
no? I mean, he was fine. No, he was not Nick Jacobs. No. But yeah, I think one of the main criticisms of this movie that I don't know, maybe it's just because I didn't really care, was the writing, I guess, was just not fantastic.
Who wrote it?
Sam Levinson in part wrote it. The other writer was, sorry, let me look this up and have this pulled up. It was Zach Helm. Screenplay by, and then it was based on a novel by Patricia Highsmith.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it was, I don't know, it felt really long. That's the other thing. I was like, we were like an hour in.
What is it, like a 2:10 or something?
No, I think it's like, I want to say it's like an hour 50.
Oh.
It's not, it's really not that long. It is an hour 55. Okay. So it's not that bad, but it felt way longer. I think like the main thing for me, the best thing about this movie was the kid. They have a kid together, very cute kid.
Is it anybody that like we know, or is it like a first time person?
No, I think it was her first time acting. But she was like,
good. Put her in Stranger Things.
Second movie. She was also she was in The New Nanny, which was a short, and then she was in this. She had some good moments with Ben Affleck, I thought. Just, father-daughter relationship. There's this one guy named Don, I think his character's name is. He's like consistently like
an asshole.
Yeah, Don, played by Tracy Letts.
Oh, Tracy Letts.
Yes, I was like, that guy looks familiar. And I was like, oh, that guy's in a lot of shit. Spoiler also for Winning Time episode 3. He's also in that episode.
He's in Winning Time?
Yeah.
Oh, man. How about that episode 2 real quick? How about that wig on Chickless? Right? Michael Chiklis?
Who does he play?
Celtics. What's his name? The guy who owns the Celtics.
Oh, yeah. That was something.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Wow. So they had he just consistently like is accusing him of murdering people, and he has, which I'm still not really sure what Ben Affleck's character does for a living, because like there's times where he's saying like, because they're at this party and Don is like, oh, what do you do for a living? And he's like, and I think Ana de Armas is like, or maybe he says it. He's like, oh, I made a chip for the military for the drones or something. And then Don is like, well, they use those to kill people. Like, don't you feel like guilty about that? Like, what does your conscience think?
Joyce, we are talking about Deep Water.
Deep Water.
And
he's like, well, they could also be used. Those drones can be used to, give people food or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Don's like, but that's not what they use them for. And I'm just kind of like, okay, well, is that what he did, and now he's just wealthy enough he doesn't have to work?
Yeah.
Or is it like he does like, because at first when he killed the one guy, I was like, oh, is he a hitman or something? Like, is that, he seems to have experience killing people.
Yeah.
But that I feel like that's never really explained what he does, or maybe he just doesn't. Maybe that is true that he made this chip, and now he just doesn't work. Don is an author. He writes books. At one point, he says, he catches Ben Affleck in the act. He says, wow, this is going to be a great book, before driving off a cliff and dying accidentally. Because when he catches Ben Affleck doing it, and Ben Affleck rode to the park on a bike where he buried a body. And Don is driving furiously on off-road.
Yeah.
and Ben Affleck is riding his bike through the forest to cut him off, and Ben Affleck falls off the bike, and his head is about to get run over, and Don swerves, drives through the forest, off a cliff, car explodes, done, dead. And Ben Affleck's like, oh, it's perfect, you know, I can get home. Granted, Ana de Armas already knows that he killed her most recent lover. I think his name was Tony. But he's like, oh, the cops come snooping. It's like, I can just say, you know, I walked up on Don with the body, and he tried to drive away and he died, you know? But yeah, I don't really think it's worth your time. I think you should still watch it just to see what you think. But, you know, I feel like this really just isn't it. I wouldn't begrudge you if you turn it off like halfway through or anything like that.
I can't even believe that. I feel like that was so much to process. I did
2.5 out of 5 stars, by the way, is what I gave it. But I might have just talked myself down even lower. I don't know.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's. I thought it was going to be like good, not great, not
great.
good.
Wow, and it had been delayed so long, and like, wow.
And this was probably one of their, because was this their last movie when they were still together?
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to be like, oh, you know, but nope.
Yikes! That is a yikes from me. You have anything else you want?
No, because I didn't watch it. I haven't really had time.
Mm-hmm.
I have not watched anything else other than Belfast. And I don't even know, like, I might have to go back and watch Belfast again because I was exhausted when I was watching it. Not because it was boring, but I was just really tired. So I might have to go back and watch it again. I gave it 4. Which isn't bad. Like, it was a good movie.
No,
I just might have to go back.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a very busy week at work. So I was hoping to see more in theaters this week. I'm still going to try and catch, a few more, but next week we have another little kind of lull in releases. So I might be able to catch up on some of the other ones, but I did watch 3 new movies this week. Which is I watched Cheaper by the Dozen, the new Disney Plus one, with Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union. It was something. I gave that 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, sure.
It was
that's better than what I thought.
Well, yeah. I mean, episode 3 of this very show. If you guys do recall,
we did.
Reviewed Cheaper by the Dozen, not the OG from like the 50s, but the OG Steve Martin one, the OG from our lives. Fantastic movie. That's a definite like 4 or 5 out of 5 for me. This one was good. Like, it was good. It didn't have like a soul. You know what I mean? Like, the first one, I don't know if it's just something about, like, Bonnie Hunt or something, but she was just so, like, I don't know. I feel like that movie is, like, a warm hug, and this one is, like, oh, what's this crazy family gonna do? You know what I mean? This felt more on par with Cheaper by the Dozen 2.
Like, I haven't seen that one, so I don't know. But.
Like, I mean... And Cheaper by the Dozen 2 is good. Like, I mean, I gave this one, the new one, 3.5 out of 5 stars. But, I don't know. It just was really missing something for me. And also, I feel like everything that they kind of did with the blended family aspect was definitely great. I went back. I didn't finish it, so I didn't log it. But I went back. I watched, like, maybe 40 minutes of the Steve Martin Cheaper by the Dozen one. And I was like, yeah, it is... I was like, it does kind of, like, suck that, like, every single person in this movie is white. Like, every single person.
Yeah.
Not just the Bakers, but, like, everyone. I don't think there's a single person of color or person that's not white in that movie. But that being said, I still think story-wise, I mean, it was very, very good. Obviously, I'm not going to, there are a lot worse cases of, you know, not having any representation than like a family movie like Cheaper by the Dozen. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not gonna knock it too hard on that, but that was a strong aspect of the new one for me. But like I said, it just kind of lacked any like heart and soul, and it had heart. It lacked something deeper. Like, you know, the first movie when Mark, our FedEx, the redhead kid, like the climax of that movie is that he runs away, and spoiler alert for the new one, the climax of this movie again is that one of the kids runs away because of a misunderstanding and stuff. And like the one in the original just felt like it would be earth-shattering if this kid got lost or if something happened. The one in this one just was like, first of all, it wasn't even one of the actual kids. It was, you know, still related, but it was their cousin who they had taken in.
Oh, okay.
So it just didn't like feel as much like it was an effect on the family. It was more like, hey, we gotta go, you know, find, and they almost immediately knew where he was too. They were like, hey, we gotta go find him and let him know, you know, that he's one of the family type of thing. Whereas in the first one, it was like, you know, he got on a train and you know, he left. Like, that was scary. And then when Steve Martin finds him, it's like this like amazing moment where you're like relieved as an audience member and stuff. And I just didn't get that moved by the new one. But I will say, overall, pleasantly surprised that it was not just an absolute like garbage fire, because that's really what I thought
I'm
it was
also
gonna
surprised because I thought that's what it would have
That's
been as
really
well.
what I thought it was going to be. So I would say, you know, if you have kids or something, or if you just like family movies, or even just like a lighter family comedy, it's on Disney Plus, so you know you can go check it out. Their dogs' names are Bark Obama and what is it? Some dog pun that's Joe Biden. Joe Barkton or something. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So their dogs are Barack Obama and Joe Biden, and I was like, oh, that's funny.
Liberal.
Oh, very, very. Yeah, there's a lot of like anti-capitalism, like whatever. Instead of being like a big like football promotion, he's a chef who gets these like angel investors.
Zach Braff is?
Yeah, Zach Braff is. And it's basically like they have this like these like angel investors come, and they're like, you know, discover his restaurant, and they're like, you're it. Like, there's something in this food, like it's great, like, which is basically on par with the original one, which is like, you know, although the original one, I will say too, had more setup of setting up Richard Jenkins' character, that he works at this more prestigious school and like, you know, has an inn and stuff.
Right,
Like this one was much more like this like opportunity just like falls in their lap to get the bigger house and the, you know, different neighborhood and stuff. One thing that was disappointing was in the first movie, Steve Martin is wanting to pursue this coaching job that he's able to, and that's where they move to and stuff. But at the same time, Bonnie Hunt's character, the mom, is trying to publish this book, and there's the whole Oprah subplot and stuff that like she's gonna be on Oprah with the book and stuff. Gabrielle Union was more just like
Gabrielle Union.
What did I say?
You said
Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Oh, Gabrielle Union. She was more just like, you know, oh well, you know, this is the restaurant is our vision, and it's like, but where's like the setup for that?
Yeah,
because he had the restaurant and was a chef his whole life. They've only been married for like, granted, they've been married for like 15 years. It's not a new blended family. It's like they've been married for a very long time.
Yeah.
But he's had the restaurant for like over 20 years. And so I would have preferred her to have kind of her own thing, as opposed to it kind of in the third act just falls into the stereotypical. He's like ranting about being frustrated, and he's like, you know, the investors want to change the name of the business, and he's like, yeah, but it's my name, it's my dream and stuff, and she's like, oh, it's last time I checked, it was our name and our dream, and she's like, but I'm just the wife who doesn't have a dream, and like that was a good moment, but I was like, why don't you? I was like, why is your dream just to like manage his restaurant? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I just felt like they could have done a little bit more. Like she was a little
sidelined.
Yeah, a little sidelined, I guess. But other than that, you know, it was pretty good. I didn't think I was going to talk like for like 5 minutes about this, but it was pretty good. And then I also watched Windfall, which you could check out the YouTube short review on the channel right now.
That's Netflix, right? That reviewed it pretty well. 100 views, I think.
Yep.
The YouTube short.
Yeah. Yeah, so check that out. The Windfall review right now. That is a very good movie. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. And then, like TJ said, I checked out X and reviewed that on the channel. That, again, I gave 4 out of 5.
How's Kid Cudi in that?
He is fantastic.
Interesting. Okay.
He is very, very good. Everybody is very good.
Okay. I'm intrigued, definitely.
But yeah, Kid Cudi especially.
They go to like this abandoned house to film a porno, right? That's like the plot, and
Yeah.
it spirals out of control. Something happens.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's the jump scare gauge on this movie? Is there a lot? None? Because that's what gets me. I'm a sucker for can't do them. That's why I don't go see scary movies in theaters.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Okay.
There's something deeper going on in this movie.
Okay.
Like I talked about it in the review, but like there's this moment where I'm not even going to say it's a spoiler because it's in the trailer. But slight spoilers if you don't want to know anything about X. It is in the trailer, but so Brittany Snow from the Pitch Perfect films is in this. She's also fantastic. And Kid Cudi is obviously in it. She's a singer. He is a musician. So there's a scene in the movie where he plays the guitar, and she sings.
Oh yeah, I've heard she breaks out into.
Yeah,
sing.
she sings "Landslide," which is like a really good song. And I almost cried.
Wow.
It was like, first of all, he was playing the guitar beautifully. She was singing beautifully.
Did he hum?
Did he hum?
Yeah. Did he hum?
Maybe.
That's Kid Cudi's thing. He's a good hummer.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
He was great on the guitar. I don't know if he was humming, but and then man, like the visuals of the movie, like when that song was playing, it I was like, man, maybe I don't know. I was like, maybe we don't deserve to live on Earth. I was like, maybe.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's what I was saying. I was like, what am I watching? Yeah. I was like, they were showing. So again, if you've seen the trailer, there's an elderly couple that runs the farm that they're on. They were showing the elderly couple and then the young people, and Landslide's talking about age and getting older and the time passing and stuff. And I was just I was almost moved to tears.
Wow.
It was incredible. The motivations I felt for every single character had perfect motivations, had great setup. Even the old couple. Yeah. Especially the old woman who is getting her own movie. We'll talk about that in a second. But and there's a couple, and also the way that they use scene transitions. And
it's got a grain on it, right? It's got an old 70s
it's
whatever.
It's very similar to Winning Time, actually.
Right, okay.
They're obviously, like you said, they're there to film a adult video. Yep. And so when they're on the camera, you see it through the camera.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of moments like that, and then actually the credits are like that too, where they cut into the 4:3, and the credits are really, really good. But there's some moments where there's split screen of so I guess I'll just say real quick. So Mia Goth, the main character, she also plays the old woman. Oh. So the whole movie, there's kind of an undercurrent throughout the movie that they're a mirror image of each other, of youth and age, or whatever. And so when that song is playing and you see the two of them and they're getting dressed or undressed or something, and you just see the age and then the youth and stuff, and know that neither of it is lasting, I was super moved by this movie. Like, I'm not even kidding. I was not expecting to be at all. I thought all the reviews were just like, it's a kick-ass horror movie, like a roller coaster, like if you're either on board or you're not, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like moved. I really was. I'm super excited for whatever Ty West, who's the director of this, is going to do next. Which I will say, not really a spoiler for the movie because it's an announcement apart from it. The old woman, her name is Pearl, and they are doing, it's already shot, it's already filmed, it's already edited. Actually, I will, small thing, there is an end credit scene, which is the trailer for the next movie, which is a prequel. It's called Before X, and it again stars Mia Goth as the younger version of the old woman.
Okay. Also a horror movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I am super excited to see it. I did not ruin anything plot-wise or anything like that for what I just said with X, so just take that in. Nothing I said was not in the trailers or an announcement previously made. So if you want to see it, definitely go still see it. I want you to see it so I can get your thoughts on it. But I loved it, honestly. Like, I did not think I was gonna be like gushing this much about the movie, but I really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, not like a 5 out of 5, but a very solid like 4 out of 5.
That's good to hear, though.
Yeah, and the cinematography, and like I say in the review, the scene transitions, these split screens, what they do with how scenes change from one to the other, with the quick cuts and then back again and then to the next scene. It's very interesting stuff. It's very, very cool. Stuff that I really have not seen before in movies, which is like, how often can you say that lately? Yeah, it is fantastic, really. Cool.
That's good.
Yeah, it's
quick
really,
question.
really good.
I actually, before we went live, I said I had a Daredevil question.
Mm-hmm.
So I currently on the season 2 episode, I think I'm going to be watching episode 6 next.
Yeah.
So Elektra has already showed up.
Elodie Young?
Yes. So one quick question I have, and this just has to do with Punisher. And I didn't really follow how these pieces were put together on how we figured out that Frank Castle was Punisher. I mean, we knew that, but the characters.
You mean specifically Matt?
No, how what the hell is her name?
Karen?
Karen, yeah. So she has like the photos. She has like his file from the hospital, right? And she pulls out the X-ray of the bullet in his head. And then it seems like they jump to the, oh, well, this guy's the Punisher. And I'm kind of like, well, I'm confused how we got there. I know this. You really got to think back.
I know. Well, where are you at with, like, who is it? Clancy Brown? Have you met Clancy Brown yet?
No.
I might be messing it. That might be in the Punisher show.
Probably.
No, I think it is from Daredevil, but I don't really know for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't strike me as an issue then, so maybe it's just something that will be resolved.
Maybe
in
I just
the next
missed
episode. It. Yeah, or maybe something.
Well, no,
like
I've watched it since that. I think I watched the episode after because he got arrested, and then at the end of that episode, Elektra is like, "Oh, hi," and then the next episode is about Elektra and Matt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the kitchen scene.
Where
they break into the house?
kitchen. Yeah.
That's a great episode. Yeah, I don't know. I do know there is some Clancy Brown stuff coming up because like there's a lot of, once Frank gets arrested, all the court proceedings and stuff, it goes into what happened to him in the military, and Clancy Brown is, it's either Clancy Brown or it's it's Biff from Back to the Future. They look so similar. But I can't remember who. I think it's Clancy Brown though.
Okay.
It could be the other one. But they definitely go into it. Like, a lot of it is explored, especially once you start seeing his sergeant or whatever, his commanding officer. If you will.
Okay.
Like, that's who Clancy Brown plays. I'm gonna stick with Clancy Brown because I'm pretty sure that's who it is. But that unlocks and uncovers a lot more, and I'm pretty sure Karen goes to him to like be like, is this the guy? Like, are my suspicions correct? Like, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I think right now she's maybe just, like, operating on a hunch.
Okay.
But also, like, Deborah Ann Wool is great, but, like, Karen
Yeah.
is sometimes not the best written character on
Yeah,
that
because
show.
then she, like, broke into his house and, like, she stole that picture of them.
Yeah.
And then, but I was kind of like, well, how did she? I don't know, because the assistant DA gave her that file, and she brought it back and saw that, he had the bullet in his head from the X-ray, and I just felt like we kind of jumped maybe on to a hunch, but I thought it was like, oh, this is the conclusion that he is Punisher. But I was like, I don't know how we got here.
Yeah.
Is Punisher a prequel, or is it like a kind of
No, it's a
side by side maybe?
Yeah, it's like a sequel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sequel, okay.
Well, I mean, it's like picks up after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because if you're just going with Daredevil and Punisher, it's season 2, season 1, season 3, season 2.
They did name drop Jessica Jones, though. I forget in what context it was, but they said, I was like, I know her.
Wasn't Jessica Jones in Daredevil season 1?
Maybe.
Or did she just start on her own?
I don't think so.
I can't remember. You got to watch Jessica Jones, though, because those are the 3 good ones.
Yeah.
Luke Cage is okay.
Luke Cage is
like,
okay.
Luke Cage is good.
Yeah,
as well.
Iron Fist is bad, right?
Yeah. Iron Fist is
And
bad, and
Defenders
Defenders
is bad.
But Sigourney Weaver is great in Defenders, so,
Yeah.
And Defenders is only like 6 episodes. But
8.
Iron Fist is 26 very bad
Episodes of television.
But,
that's when Kevin Feige said, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. Only redeeming thing of Iron Fist is probably Jessica Henwick, like from the new Matrix movie and stuff.
Right.
As Colleen Wing, she's fantastic. She's a great character. But Finn Jones is just god awful as Danny Rand. All right, so you want to hit us up with some news real quick?
Yeah. So I have 4 stories that I just wanted to touch on real quick.
Oh, shit.
What?
I just saw the Fantastic Beasts character posters.
Oh, yeah.
These are a second set of character posters. Interesting.
Trying to see if I can find a... Hold on, I might just have to Google it. Well, the story is that National Treasure 3 is now not happening, apparently. According to Nick Cage, an interview he did in GQ, I believe it was. But I was going to look in the GQ article, but it's like a whole interview.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of want the story, not the whole interview. So I'm going to read it off a different... I'm going to read it off a different website. Let's see.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading this. I should have been more prepared.
No, you're good.
All right, so reading this off the playlist.net,
Mm-hmm.
just a quick quote said, Cage continued to dismiss suggestions that National Treasure 3 is happening after being told by the interviewer that Bruckheimer told him they were developing something. When I talk about fair weather friends in Hollywood, I'm not talking about Jerry. I'm talking about Disney. They're like an ocean liner. Once they go in a certain direction, you've got to get a million tugboats to try to swivel it back around. So basically, now I'm not the biggest National Treasure guy. I've only seen the first one. You are a decent fan of National Treasure. Yeah. You're probably looking forward to the third one.
I was, yeah.
So basically, it's Disney's fault, is what I'm hearing.
But what does he mean by that?
That's what I'm
What is
also,
their fault? What
so
did
it
they
seems
do?
like maybe like they had an idea, and then they were like, well, we want to do this. But it's like maybe they don't all agree on that. But they're like, no, we're doing this.
Well, because they're either later, I think later this year, they did a National Treasure TV show set in the universe. It's already filmed, or I think they're filming right now or something. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was like, all right, let's get the third one off the ground. Let's, whatever. And they were like, all right, yep, we will, but we want to do this first.
Yeah.
And maybe he was like, well, fuck you. Like, no, I want like I wanted to do the third one. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think that is definitely led. Like, if you read like once they go in a certain direction, you've got to get a million tugboats to try to swivel it back around. Like to me, that's what that means is like, we're going in this direction,
to do this thing. Yeah.
Right? And they're like, well, no, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And this has been. I don't know if you saw this. Like, did you see that there was Disney employees that did a walkout?
I did see that.
Did you DM that to me, or did I just see it on Twitter? I think you retweeted it.
I think I retweeted.
Which again, there's been all this kind of talk about the whole Bob Chapek CEO not being
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Very
another big article hit this week that was the Battle of the Bobs that they
apparently they don't speak.
They don't speak at all now. Yeah. Before it was they do not see eye to eye, and they don't now it's Chapek won't even take his calls.
That is like, wild to me. That it's like, hey,
well, and also,
hey, I handpicked you, by the way. So,
no, exactly, and it's also concerning that like he is mass firing people and like combining departments and then just putting people that he knows will listen to him in charge. Like, so he's literally just like pulling a George Lucas, but like more, because like George Lucas was just like, oh, this is my company, I'm gonna hire who I want. Bob Chapek is firing people already in place and replacing them with people that he knows will just like do whatever he says, which is a bit concerning. And there are reports apparently that Disney employees, and this is not even just the don't say gay bill that passed in Florida, which is kind of what launched this whole new wave of outcry from the employees and fans and everybody. Even before that bill, there are reportedly people, high up at Disney in contact with other studios to basically have a
fallout plan.
Like a parachute, basically, to wind up somewhere else if things start going south. And apparently this is from Variety that, unnamed sources, they're not going to obviously name them, but that there are people at Disney who are constantly reaching out to Bob Iger and wondering if it's time to literally
come back.
Well,
maybe not come back.
There are people asking him to come back, but more realistically, time to kind of rally the shareholders to seek new leadership.
Yeah. It's only been 2 years, I believe.
Yeah. Just over 2 years. It's been it's and I believe the exact quote from the Variety article was that Bob Chapek has good business sense but has no emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Which is not a good thing if you're leading the Walt Disney Company, which is like, the happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But, John Campion's been, he's like, I've said it from the beginning. He's got to have 3 years to prove himself. Well, like you just said, we're a little over 2 years now. He's got less than a year left on that time clock. And things are worse than they've ever been. I mean, the stock has gone down 30%, like that since Bob Iger left. Like, that's really bad. That is very bad. But yeah, you never know.
Yeah. That's not great.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can turn the ship around. Man, and maybe this is, this could have happened, a year ago.
This is the million tugboats that's
what
needs.
It could be. But also, again, this could have happened, although when was this announced? This was announced was National Treasure 3 rumored just a year or two ago?
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was rumored 9 years ago after the second one.
Oh, okay.
But then it was went away for a while. But then, it was National Treasure 3 with Nick Cage is happening. Unsure if it'll be a Disney Plus original or if it'll be theatrical. But they were like, yeah, it's happening. And that was sometime during COVID.
All right. So next, this is from Variety. Sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong will film in Australia later this year. So Godzilla v. Kong was one of the first, I believe it was one of the first HBO Max. Was it just HBO Max? Because was theaters?
It was in theaters. Yeah.
There it was in theater. Oh yeah, because you watched it in theaters. Yeah. But it was one of the first movies that was day and date, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, because I think it was this week last year.
Oh wow, okay.
I think it came out in like March. Yeah.
It was pretty good. I think we both agree that it was. Yeah, it was pretty good. Definitely a good fight between the two.
Yeah.
So what was your intrigue level for the next one?
Well, I think the question is this a because they say a sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong, but is it Godzilla vs. Kong 2, or is it just another movie in the MonsterVerse, either Godzilla, Kong, both of them, or something else? I'm excited. I would be down to see any of those three options.
I'd be down for a team up.
I would be down for a team up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I don't think it would make sense for them to immediately fight each other again after kind of what they went through in the last one.
I don't even remember who won. Who won?
Well, they teamed up and they fought.
Godzilla. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Godzilla. I did forget about that.
But that being said, definitively Godzilla won. Because you remember Godzilla like basically was about to chop like Kong in half, but then stopped.
Yes.
Yeah. This guy right here.
Yes, Godzilla. There he is. But no, I like you. Like I'd be down for anything. I would definitely be down for a.
But I think a team up is.
A team up would be cool. Again, I don't know. I'm not the biggest historian on the whole kaiju monster universe, so I don't know like what the next. My knowledge kind of goes to Mechagodzilla and then it ends there.
Yeah, like you would say like
I know like
maybe
Mothra, but it wasn't Mothra
or like Rodan, but they've already
King
done
of Monsters,
those.
weren't they? Yeah.
They did Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah or Ghidorah, whatever you want to say. Yeah. They did all three of those already. So
Charles Dance, though, was that ever resolved? That whole storyline?
No.
Remember at the end of King of the Monsters?
Yeah, the game is on. It's still on. We're still waiting.
So maybe this is like every country has their own kaiju and they all just fight or something.
But I mean, honestly, I would be fine because that the Charles Dance post credit was directly saying basically they're gonna try and resurrect Ghidorah.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, I know we just did him two movies ago, but you bring him back, he's mutated or something. It'll just give him something to fight. I mean, it's not like we're talking about Shakespeare. It's like the Godzilla MonsterVerse, so it's like I don't care who he fights, but just they've already kind of gone through most of the roster because I think Rodan dies.
Did they not all die?
I think he gets like. No, because remember, there's a bunch of them still alive at the end of King of the Monsters because that they all bow. Remember? No, Rodan is not dead because he's one of the ones that bows. They all bow to Godzilla, and then he goes, and then it cuts.
He goes nuclear.
Yeah, and then it cuts. I will say that is still one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a
That was cool.
When he is like glowing red hot and everything's just fire and he's like the living embodiment of like a volcano. Like it's just like that
was blue though, wasn't he? Or he just shoots the blue like regularly.
In the end of Godzilla King of Monsters, remember they hit him with a nuke.
Oh, right.
And then he goes red.
Oh.
Like he changes from blue to red. And then he does like his huge power thing and like puts it right down Ghidorah's throat and just like eviscerates him. Yeah. Oh man, I just remembered like in King of Monsters, like Millie Bobby Brown, her mom Vera Farmiga, like doesn't Ghidorah just like straight up like murder her? Mm-hmm. Like she's just like standing by herself in the street and he just like just like kills her right in front of him. But yeah, I mean, I'd love like Millie Bobby Brown, Kyle Chandler, Brian Tyree Henry, whoever of the people you want to bring back, go for it. Off the top of my head, I honestly can't remember who's still alive. I think Kyle Chandler and Millie Bobby Brown. I think all of them made it out. Julian Dennison too from Deadpool. He was good in Godzilla vs. Kong. I thought that him and Millie Bobby Brown's chemistry was really good. So maybe you just continue with them. But yeah, I mean, I'm down for whatever type of movie or whatever, if it's a Monarch origin thing. Oh wait, well, we are getting the Monarch series on HBO Max. Remember? Maybe that's what's filming. I wonder if people have thought about that. Remember? Because they said we're gonna get a Godzilla series. Oh no! Remember they said we're gonna get a Godzilla Monarch series, but it's not HBO. It's Apple.
Wow.
Remember that news like 4 months ago?
I don't.
And people were like, and they said it's set in the MonsterVerse, and they're like, why? Yeah, why is it going to Apple? I don't know. It's like weird. The same thing with Ted Lasso. Like, Ted Lasso is produced by
NBC.
It's produced by NBC and by Warner Brothers, but it's on Apple.
Show, yeah.
What? Like, I don't know. I don't know how some of that.
What a swing and a miss for Peacock, man.
I know. Imagine
you had that character. Like, you had him in the commercials and everything.
It's NBC's character. Yeah. Like, imagine the world if Ted Lasso's on Peacock.
Yeah.
I mean, think of how many Emmys Peacock could say they have. Yeah. Think about just the traffic, just the people that watch it. Like, it's crazy.
All right, next story, and this does something for me. I don't know if it does anything for you because I don't know if you've ever watched the show. True Detective Season 4 in the works at HBO with Barry Jenkins. So this says, sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that the premium cable network has recruited Issa Lopez, wrote Tigers Are Not Afraid and Secondary Effects, which I have not seen either, to pen a script for the new cycle that has been dubbed True Detective Night Country. Additionally, Barry Jenkins is attached to his executive produce the anthology. Should Season 4 move forward, it's currently in development. Lopez would direct the pilot in addition to serving as an exec producer. For me, Season 1 with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey is probably some of the best television I've ever seen. If you have not watched it,
I have not.
I highly recommend you watch it. I started Season 2, and I know people are down on Season 2 with Colin Farrell, Rachel McAdams, and Vince Vaughn. I started it, and I just never went back.
Is that the one that Taylor Kitsch is in?
Probably, because I know Season 3 is like Mahershala Ali, which I have not watched either, which I should probably check that one out. But I loved Season 1. I think I watched it, I want to say it was right before the pandemic, because I remember coming home from school.
Was it 10 episodes?
Yeah, I think so. When I come home from school, around noon or 1, and I binged it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And it was just, oh my God, it was such a good show. So this I would be very excited for, because I think people have also been clamoring a lot for another season, and I know kind of the creator originally was kind of like, like maybe, but it was never anything like kind of confirmed or committed to. But I would be very excited if they were to do Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any interest?
No, I mean, it definitely sounds like it was a really good show. Season 1 was, fantastic. Mm-hmm. Season 2, still good, but not as great. And then I know a lot of people liked Season 3 with Mahershala Ali. So, if it's, I think for me, it'll come down to like the casting too. If they cast, either one or two, great leads again, like they have, regardless of the story, I think all of those, actors, I mean, Vince Vaughn, Rachel McAdams, Colin Farrell, McConaughey, Harrelson, like all of them are so good. So really, I think it'll just come down to that. Like, I mean, if they, I don't know, I'm just like, if they say that like Season 4 of True Detective with Bryan Cranston and Jesse Eisenberg, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll watch that. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing people up. But like, I think that's kind of just what I feel like, just because I haven't seen it. I want to see it, but it's like if the casting comes out and it's like some golden casting, that'll be the thing that will get me to binge watch the first 3 and then get hyped up and ready for the 4th one, basically.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you seriously though. Right now, just watch season 1, because the chemistry between them is very good. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, but like the story is good. Like it's just got this gritty, dark feel. Like it's so good, so good. So I highly suggest you watch the first season.
Who's the like creative behind it? Like who did season 1? Is it like?
Let me look it up. He was the creative behind all the seasons, if I recall.
Who? Barry Jenkins?
No,
Or...
the original.
I gotcha.
Nick Pizzolatto. So he wrote.
Okay.
It says written by, created by 48 episodes. Taylor Kitsch, I believe, is season 2, from what I can tell on here.
Gotcha.
Last news story I got. This is a very I'd say this is kind of a surprise. Christopher Lloyd joining the cast of Mandalorian season 3. So character this is from Hollywood Reporter. Character details for his role are being kept locked in the trunk of a DeLorean, but it has been described as guest starring in nature. Lucasfilm could not be reached for comment.
Does a DeLorean have a trunk?
I don't think it does.
Not theirs, at least.
Yeah, no, in the movie it definitely doesn't have one. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Like, again, it said guest starring in nature. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be like something on the level of it's going to be somebody again that probably has 1 or 2 episodes and then comes back for the finale. That's kind of the Mandalorian. Well, I guess with Boba Fett now, that's kind of the Star Wars show motif now, is like, probably be in like, get a tease for him in 1 episode, then he'll have a huge presence in 1 episode, and then he'll come back to join in the fight in the finale.
Yeah.
Fine by me. I think that's awesome. The only thing that I would say is I hope that it's him and not just like his voice. Like I hope he's not just like voicing somebody.
Like a droid or something.
Yeah.
Like kind of like Taika.
Yeah. Which Taika is rumored apparently to return as well. As IG 11, yeah, which I think would be really good. Makes sense that he had to skip out on season 2 because he was busy with Thor. That kind of took up like 2.5 years of his life. But yeah, I mean, I think that's awesome. Like I said, I just hope that he gets to play himself. As Christopher Lloyd, not like a droid or a creature or just a voice or something. But I think that he would fit the universe like perfectly. And I only say that too, really, because in Nobody, he was fantastic in Nobody. Like he how old is he? Like 78?
Oh yeah, I forgot
he's like 78 probably.
Something like that.
Yeah, if not a little bit older even.
It'll probably be like an Amy Sedaris role where it's like 1 or 2 episodes.
See that even that. Oh yeah, like in terms of screen time for sure. But even that, like, I think it'd be great if he is like if he's like a comedic presence or whatever. Totally fine with that. But I actually, because of Nobody, I would love it if he was just like this like stone cold badass. Like that, because that's what he was in Nobody, and he was perfect. He was so good in that when he's just like, with a shotgun and he's just like, this is like, he's like living it up. I really loved that. So yeah, whatever he is, make him be like an old grizzled bounty hunter or something. I think that would be fantastic. The Star Wars comics just introduced Han's dad. Maybe he could be Han's dad. I don't know. He kind of looks like the guy from the comics. He's got white hair. Put a beard on him.
There you go.
We'll see.
Han's dead.
But yeah, either way, I mean, that's awesome. Honestly, even if it is a voice, I mean, it'll still be cool. But it's just like, if you're gonna say like, oh, Christopher Lloyd is in and then it's just like a voice for an episode, I'd be a little disappointed.
Right.
But yeah, I'm super down for it. And who knows, maybe it'll be one of those things where he could be like a Carl Weathers type where he comes back every season and does different stuff. Or I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Or what if he's a member? What if he's the member of Death Watch that took Din in as a child?
Oh,
right.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be awesome.
Because we can only assume they're going to Mandalore.
Figure. Exactly. So. That's what I'm saying. Like because basically what I'm saying, the guy in season 1, when you see the Death Watch person like pick up Din from the little like storm shelter or whatever, maybe that's Christopher Lloyd's character now, like 30 some years later. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool if he was like Din's father figure. That might be wishful thinking, but I mean that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So that does it for the stories for this week. Do we want to move on to the main topic, I guess?
Yeah, I mean it's 9 right now. Do you want to talk a little Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah, we can talk about Hogwarts Legacy real quick. So the state of play for Hogwarts Legacy was, when was that? Last week?
Yeah, last
Friday,
last Thursday, something like that.
Which is a game being developed by Warner Brothers Games and by Portkey Games, which is a subsidiary, I believe, of Warner Brothers Games. And it seems to be a single player kind of action adventure game throughout the Harry Potter universe, years or even decades before Harry Potter ever shows up. So I think you said like 1880s.
It's either the 1880s or the 1890s, because it says it is the very late 1800s, near the turn of the century. Yeah. So I would assume that's probably the 1890s, but it could be like the 1880s, something like that. And then one of the things that in the state of play that is on the channel right now, my reaction, I react to the entire like 15-minute gameplay footage. One of the things they do say is like, well, the locations will all be familiar, the characters won't be because it's set so far, but they said that doesn't mean that you won't see certain people or certain names that you are familiar with. And if it is the 1890s, then at that time Albus and Aberforth Dumbledore were both at Hogwarts as students. So it's very possible that they could be in it as students, or at least maybe a reference to them or something. But the game is, by all accounts, massive. Like, I mean, I think it looks very, very good. Really, the main thing that struck me was just how big it is. I mean,
they showed a lot of different landscapes, I thought.
Yeah, and it's open world. Yeah. Like, that's I'm sure it'll be something that, like, you walk up to, like, a train station to go to Hogsmeade or something.
I'm interested to see how this kind of... Because they show you, like, learning and going to class and stuff, and then, it's like, oh, then you can, explore the grounds, explore all the areas and stuff like that.
So you can build, like, a custom map inside the room of requirement?
Yeah, I was...
You can, like, build your own
that
house?
was, like, a whole... that was a whole section.
Yeah.
Of the thing was the state of play
was
the room of requirement, where I was like, oh, okay, so this seems like a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming like the classes are kind of main line quests that just kind of go with the story. If I had to guess, I told you earlier, like I was under the impression this was like a multiplayer game, where it's like you were kind of running around with friends and they were gonna maybe have raids at some point. This was never like a thing. That's what I thought I was getting. But I'm still interested in like a single player game. Like you said, the world seems to be massive. The thing that I wish they showed in the state of play is I didn't see what the user interface looked like. I didn't see what the HUD really looked like. How are we... Because they show you doing all these spells, like, during battle and stuff like that. How am I casting them? Am I... is it doing the whole, like, kind of... You press the button and it slows down the world around you and you pick a spell and you do it that way? Or are they button mapped, certain buttons? Is it a button combination? Like you said earlier, is it, like, triple circle is, like... I don't know. Accio or something. Yeah. Like, I'm just very interested to see how that works. And just kind of like, all the quests and stuff. Because they talk about these other kind of main characters as well, like their different storylines. So I'm either going to assume they're going to be, main quests or, side quests.
Yeah.
And man, when they were like, oh yeah, and these like evil trolls that you have to stop, I was kind of like, give me, give me something, like, give me just like I'm a sucker for a good dark wizard. Give me like a maybe not a Voldemort Grindelwald type, but something, maybe bigger than these dark elves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Ranrock, the Goblin King.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I think it looks really good. I think, like you said, it's like, well, the only thing it's missing is like a multiplayer element. But then people say, but then you look at like the first Battlefront, and people are like, well, it's missing a single player campaign.
Yeah,
and it's like,
very true.
It's like, well, you can't, it's hard to please everybody.
Yeah.
But
some would argue Battlefront didn't need a single player because Battlefront 2 single player was not all that good in my opinion.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think overall, like we kind of talked about before the show started, like, I think with this whole new division with the Portkey Games thing, we looked up, they've done some mobile games, some mobile Harry Potter games, before, and then this is kind of their first step into like AAA, like console titles and stuff. And if it is as good as this one looks, hopefully it'll just be like a stepping stone to more games and have the potential to get a fully online game or something that's more raid focused, team focused, that thing, or maybe get another game that's got kind of like a Battlefront 2 where there's online elements, there's single player elements, that kind of thing. I think either way that'd be great. But yeah, I think overall visually it looks fantastic. Mm-hmm. Which is incredible, because the better it looks, the more it'll feel like you're really in the universe, which is what this game is kind of going for. But yeah,
I was just gonna say I hope there's crossplay, but if it's a single player game, it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then the other quick piece of this is one other side story. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. The game has been delayed to spring 2023.
Here,
which sucks.
You want to give your thoughts on that? I'm just gonna run the bathroom.
Yeah. So I feel like this game has just been in production or development for a long ass time. I think it was announced. I think like the DC fandom in 2020 when we first got that like the Batman teaser. I want to say it was, and so now it's been delayed to spring 2023. And like I think it's Rocksteady's working on this game, so that's a developer that I feel like a lot of people trust. All of the Arkham games that they've developed have been fantastic games. And this game, it seems kind of more like it's focused on the multiplayer aspect rather than a single player campaign, which is very intriguing. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of upsetting because it's like we didn't expect it to get pushed, that far. But I'm sure that the team over there is still working very hard on it. That it's going to be a great game. And then obviously we have Gotham Knights coming out, in October, which I could have sworn it was coming out in like summer. I thought it was coming out sooner than that. So that will kind of be the something to tide people over while they keep working on the game. Sefton Hill put out this statement today. And he said, we've made the difficult decision to delay Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League to spring 2023. I know a delay is frustrating, but that time is going into making the best game we can. I look forward to bringing the chaos to Metropolis together. Thanks for your patience. Yeah, I mean, it's just tough. At least I think on the bright side, though, we haven't heard of any like... Because I feel like lately we've had a lot of stories about like, crunch at, different game studios, a terrible culture, whether it be at, a developer like Blizzard Activision, which had just terrible, accounts of like misconduct and terrible workplace environment for everybody. Which I don't think there's been anything like that reported about Rocksteady, which is good. So maybe it's just really not that ready, and it's better to delay a game than to, have crunch and make people work, 15, 20-hour days or whatever to get a game done and get it, shipped on time. But But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Definitely something that me and Sean will probably stream when it comes out. Which I am trying to stream, by the way. I know I said it last week. I just have not had time. Trying to stream, what's it called? Tunic, which is out on Game Pass right now. I definitely suggest people check it out. Because apparently it's very, it looks a lot like, what's it called? It looks a lot like Death's Door, which I am very excited about. It's very Zelda-like, I've heard. But it looks a lot like Death's Door with, the first comparison being, I guess, just like the animal main player or main character, which is really cool. But yeah, I am excited for Suicide Squad, but, take your time, I guess. I was just talking about how, like, it's better to delay a game than have people crunch and work 15, 20-hour days to get a game to ship on time.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about, like, especially, like, I haven't heard anything about Rocksteady, but, like, we've heard, with these bad cultures lately in developers, like Activision having that terrible workplace culture and the misconduct going on there. So it's just better to do it this way.
I'll do a quick, let's see. Michelle in chat says, I feel like the gaming industry needs to tighten up giving out release dates. They never seem to be on time. Yeah, I think another one that we could touch on briefly here is Star Wars Eclipse. Did you see? That was
I didn't see.
A week ago or something. Came out and
we don't know anything about that game either. They just gave us that little cinematic art thing, and that was about it.
But they came out and they were like, "Oh, Star Wars Eclipse reportedly delayed, won't come out until 2026 or 2027."
Oh,
yeah.
Was that Disney Plus Day, or was that like an E3 thing?
It was like an E3 thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, or maybe it just dropped randomly.
Because was it? I thought it was this year, but that they announced it.
Oh, the trailer was like 2022.
Wasn't it?
I feel like it was 2021.
But they said it was. They said 2026 or 2027.
Yeah. So then everybody was like, "Whoa, Star Wars Eclipse, delayed or whatever." And then their answer to that was, hang on.
No, you're fine.
December 9th, 2021.
Okay.
Their answer to that was, you can't delay a game that doesn't have a release date. That's what the company came out and said. Who is, I can't remember the name of it. Who did, like, Detroit Becoming Human and stuff.
Oh.
That's who's doing it.
I didn't play. Danielle really liked that game. I don't remember who.
Crap, I can't remember the freaking name of it. I got the trailer right here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Quantic Dream.
Yep. So then there was like a whole bunch of issues because basically what it was, like, people in the know about the gaming industry and the entertainment industry in general and stuff, what the trailer really was is a job posting.
Oh.
Because that's what people said was really what that trailer is. If fans want to know what that was, it's, hey, we want to we want to make this really cool Star Wars game.
Oh.
Doesn't this game look so good? Come join the team, basically.
This must have been at a state of play, too, because they're owned by Sony now.
Okay, it probably was then.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I remember you messaging me and being like, a Star Wars game. Like,
because I think they also announced the KOTOR remake as well.
Yeah, it was that. That's exactly what it was. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I think it was the state of play because it was the. Was it the one that they?
It might have been Wolverine as well.
I was just gonna say. I think it was that one where they announced that. But yeah, so basically what they were saying was like, technically it isn't delayed till that long. It probably will take that long because what they're saying is the trailer basically acts as a job posting, and word on the street is nobody's applying. That's what people are saying is that people are saying that they were expecting at this point to have at least 200 people on the team, and they said that they have about 70 people currently working on Eclipse, which is insane.
Yeah.
So
Real quick. This says an email to Games Radar. Quantic Dream said Star Wars Eclipse has not been delayed because Quantic Dream never announced or promised a launch window for the title. The spokesperson said recruiting remains active as it works on Star Wars Eclipse, third-party publishing, and unannounced projects.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's
wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Basically saying, well, we didn't promise anything.
That you're getting into like.
But we're taking applications.
I mean, that's 5 years from now. Like, who knows where it will be?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like we're getting into because I'm not exactly sure what the life cycle of a console life is, but I feel like you're kind of getting to next generation console at that point.
Either way, if you're looking at a 2027, 2028 release window,
I could be very off on that because I don't know.
No, I think you're spot on. I think if you're looking at like let's say 2028, let's say it takes 6 years with whatever delays or whatever. If you're looking at releasing a game in 2028, it's going to be one of the last games that's purely on PS5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it probably games in 2029 will probably be PS5 and whatever the next thing is.
Probably
you know what
PS6.
I mean? Yeah. No, yeah, but you know, whatever it might be. So yeah, I don't really know what you do in that situation, but I mean, that's a terrible situation.
I mean, I get them saying that, but like, what did you expect people? I mean, you showed it at the state of play, which I feel like is usually for games that are, you know, coming in the next 2-3 years, not things that are, you know, it's an advertisement and it's coming out in 6-7 years or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, although granted, like there was this one game called for the first game came out, Beyond Good and Evil 1, I think came out in like early 2000s, I want to say. And then they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2. I want to say it was like 3-4 years ago at E3. It was like a trailer, and then there's been nothing since then. So it's like, what happened? Like, is it still in Is it still in development? Did you stop? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And real quick, other Star Wars news: Fallen Order 2 trailer possibly coming. Star Wars Celebration. Yeah. What is the date for that? Is it May 4th?
I think it's May 20th.
May 20th.
Maybe? Because it's the first... Oh, no. It must be later than that because the first episode of Kenobi will be out. So maybe it's June. It might be like June 1st or something.
Oh, May 26th to May 29th.
Okay, yeah. So it literally is the day after Kenobi comes out.
Right.
Damn. That's going to be one hell of a weekend. Yeah, but yeah, that'll be cool. Oh God, that's like only, what is that? 2 months away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that means Kenobi's only 2 months. Jeez. Woo!
Still crazy that next Fantastic Beasts is literally next month.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think a lot needs to be done in the video game industry and how video games are made and the expectations of video games. I think people are just going to have to realize...
They're okay out there.
I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was a garbage tote or a car crash. I think people are just going to need to realize you either need to, really like go back to basics, what video game companies used to do, and they still do somewhat, but you need to go into high schools and be like, hey, we will like give you dozens of scholarships, put kids through school, we'll take them when they're ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because there just are, plain and simple, there just are not enough people to make these games. They put these huge expectations, these groundbreaking visuals. We're going to have, oh my God, we're going to push it so far. We're going to do all this stuff. And then they give themselves 3 years to do it. And it's like, you can't make a game like that fast. You know, some places can, but also like look at something like Star Wars Squadrons, right? You know, they went with, what do you call that? A AA title instead of a AAA.
Yeah, I don't even remember who.
It's like a $40 one.
It was EA. It was EA,
It was
right?
EA, yeah. But it's like a $40 game as opposed to a $60. Like, it's a lighter game, but visually it is stunning. And what did they do? They worked on all the level design, everything like that, and then they used a shit ton of assets and stuff that they already had from Battlefront. They paced themselves properly, and that game was never delayed. And it released on time. People love it. It doesn't have as huge a...
I don't know how successful it was.
Yeah, it doesn't have as huge a base as they thought it was going to be, but I know the people that, like, you know, some of the Star Wars YouTube channels I follow that do stream it, they love it, and, you know, I have it. I don't play it very often, but I have it on my PS5, and it is a really, really fun, enjoyable game, and it's like, you know, nobody died over making Star Wars Squadrons, like, but it's like they're putting so much pressure on all these places and then putting pressure on themselves and just making fans angry, which, you know, I don't think anger is the best answer, but at the same time, you have to understand that when you go 2 years back and say, you know, drop this incredible trailer that ends with Superman being evil, about to kill, you know, Harley Quinn, you're like, and then it's like, you know, 2021 Suicide Squad kill, and you're like, oh my god, and now we're looking at 2023, like, you know, or perfect example is Lego Star Wars, like that. Yeah. That obviously is a massive game. You know, that is a massive game. It needs a lot of work. The whole thing is basically built from scratch, from the ground up. They basically threw out all the previous Lego games and were like, we're going to make this as great as we possibly can.
I beg you to, in an update, add online multiplayer, please. Is there a local multiplayer, or it's just...
Oh, there'll be local.
There's got to be, right?
There has to be, yeah, because it's, two-player. I mean, you gotta have that with Lego games. If there isn't, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Can you imagine?
I don't know what they're doing.
You turn it on, you go, not even... Local?
Yeah, not even local. Yeah, that'd be insane. But you know, that was a game that had 7 release dates, and now we're finally getting it. You know, what is it, next week?
It's in April.
I think it's April.
Is it
5th.
Beginning of April?
I think it's April 5th.
Ah, come on. I got too many things.
I think it's April 5th. But yeah, you know, that's a game that took a very long time and upset a lot of people.
Shit, it is April 5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it, you know, it upset a lot of people.
Yeah.
When, you know, all the delays happen, and it's like, well, think about what would have happened if you announced it a year later than you did, and right off the bat said spring 2023. And you're like, you got 4 years to wait for it, but it's coming. And then you stick, and obviously COVID affected a lot of things. So that's, you know, in a perfect world, I'm saying, you know, you're not going to be able to foresee everything. But, you know, let's just say that it was at least close to the final release date. You know, people would be a lot more receptive of it. Whereas now, you know, people are still hyped for it. But if it had stuck on that original release date, those sales would be through the roof. There's already reports that the pre-sale is not where they wanted it to be, even with things like, you know, the classic figures, the Obi-Wan Kenobi and stuff like that you can only get on a pre-order. Even with that stuff, it still is not performing the way that they wanted it to, and I think a lot of that is due to, well, people were like, it's never going to happen, and went on to other things. They spent their money elsewhere. They did whatever, you know, they're just not looking forward to it as much, whatever it might be. But I feel like a lot of game studios, you know, they kind of need to look at themselves and how they kind of structure things and figure something out. I don't know. I don't have the answer, but
no, yeah,
there's got to be a better answer out there than what they're doing now.
All I know is better have the same Yoda death yell from the previous Lego games.
Do you think we'll get Tarful as a playable character? I think we will.
Did we in previous games? I don't remember. Last one I played was Complete Saga, so I don't.
I think they probably called him Wookiee Warrior.
Probably, yeah.
But they're boasting about 500 named characters.
Wow.
So
that's a lot.
I mean, Tarful plays a pretty big role in
that
his
game.
escape.
Will definitely be streamed. I can tell you that right now. That game I'm streaming.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. I just hope. You know, I hope I hope maybe in 2 months from now you say, hey, here's an update, online multiplayer. Boom. Yeah. Maybe you already put the infrastructure in place that you just need to, click the button and it's online.
I think that is very unlikely.
Same.
But yeah. All right. Let's move on. We're just gonna be talking because we already went through. You can go back 6 weeks ago. I can't even believe that it's already been 6 weeks since we did the nominations episode. But if you want to hear our thoughts on all the nominees, you can go back to that show where we spent basically the entire episode just going through all of them. Because there is so many. But in this one, we're just going to go with some of the top ones. So we're going to go over all 4 acting categories. Best Director, Best Picture, of course. And I don't know, maybe like Screenplay or something.
Yeah, probably.
Probably that. So, we'll probably do about 8 or 9 categories here. And are you doing a ballot?
Well, yeah, probably. Well, yeah, I mean, we can do it. We could just tweet it or we don't have to.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So we'll probably do that.
Yeah.
Post our ballots.
Well, yeah, because if you're I don't know if you want to talk to Danielle, but about what we talked about earlier, I'm gonna have them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we could always do it then and then just tweet out the pictures of it. But yeah, we'll tweet if you want to know our full predictions. We'll tweet out our ballots before the actual show, which, if you don't know, is this Sunday at 8 p.m. on ABC.
Danielle said, like the new layout.
Yeah, awesome. Just a little, cleaner. I don't know.
All right, so what do we want to do first? What category?
Yeah, do you want to just start with Best Picture?
Sure. So, Best Picture, we have...
Now, we should say we've done a lot of work from our top 10 list of 2021 when we were we haven't touched any of the, contenders that are probably going to be Best Picture. And then even in the nominations at that point, we had seen barely any of the Best Picture nominations. We've done a lot of watching since then. Right now, we both haven't seen Drive My Car. I haven't seen King Richard, and TJ... I
haven't seen Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, and TJ has not seen Licorice Pizza. So you can fill me in on whatever you think King Richard might, and I'll give my thoughts on Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
Because I think Licorice Pizza is going to come up for 2 of the categories we'll talk about. Yeah, I will say do you have the...
I do have the nominees up, yes. Yeah. So, Best Picture nominees. Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
Mm-hmm. Michelle says, do Best Score. Why should we? The ceremony isn't.
Fair. Wow. Dune's going to win it, so...
Yeah. We could do Best Score too, but I do agree. I think it will be Dune.
Yeah.
So for Best Picture, I'll go. When we did the nominations, I was very assuming strong Belfast vibes because that was kind of where the discussion was at. Now, honestly, I feel like Belfast has really kind of dropped off conversations entirely for Best Picture, which is very surprising. I genuinely think it might be Coda. I think
really,
yeah, because I feel like a lot of the support has gone behind that. I would say I would want it to either be Coda or Belfast. I loved both of those movies, though they were fantastic. Very different films, but very, very well made and everything. I would want it to be Belfast or Coda. I think it might be Coda. I also think there's a chance that a lot of people are, for some reason, skewing Power of the Dog with a lot of things. There's a lot of discussions about people saying, that maybe...
Not Sam Elliott. Not a fan
Yeah.
of Power of the Dog.
Yeah, and then Jane Champion was had this great comeback for him, but then she
made some remark about
she canceled
Williams' sister.
She literally ended Sam Elliott's whole career and
Yeah.
then 5 minutes later canceled herself.
She did she did apologize. Credit to her. She did apologize.
Yeah. And I get it. I mean, it wasn't mean-spirited. Like,
Yeah.
I get what she was trying to say, but it's like, let's not compare hardships on a national scale,
Yeah.
like, or on national television. But I think Power of the Dog like has a good chance. I think that's right now seems to be where the conversation is heading. But you have to keep in mind too that voting closed already last week, so it's, I don't know. It could go kind of either way at this point. That what the general conversation might be about what people are thinking might win might not have an effect because a lot of people have already had their voting done for weeks at this point. But that being said, there is a huge amount of people saying that they're all hearing Power of the Dog is kind of the shoe-in now for getting Best Picture. But
Interesting.
What do you think?
I'm in the Power of the Dog. We're making picks on what we think's gonna win, correct?
Yeah.
So I actually have two separate picks, but I would lean more towards Power of the Dog to win. I could also see King Richard winning. I'll be honest.
Really?
King Richard was a very, very good movie with an excellent, excellent performances all around, but a very excellent performance by Will Smith. At the same time, also very good performances in Power of the Dog.
Coda, Belfast.
Belfast. Belfast. I really do got it because again, I was like, did I say? I don't think I said it on here. Yeah, I rented it.
Oh, okay. Do you still have it, or do you have to rent it?
I would have to rent it again. But I don't think I said it on here. I think I just said it before.
You said it to me, yeah.
I was just very tired. Like I was like literally falling asleep, not because it was boring or anything. Just like I was just really tired. I had a long night the night before. So I'll have to go back and watch that one. Again, Drive My Car, I'm very intrigued by. Licorice Pizza, I just don't think I know. I'm gonna watch it between now and Sunday. Again, I know people are kind of it's very divisive. Do you think it's best? Do you think maybe it should have even been nominated?
Licorice Pizza?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I mean,
I'm
to
not
me, like
surprised that
to
it's
me,
nominated.
not seeing Licorice Pizza, I would take that out, and then I would take Nightmare Alley out as well.
Forgot about Nightmare Alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't think at this point. I really don't think Nightmare Alley has a chance.
I think there's also a possibility. I think West Side Story might slip in. I think it's a possibility West Side Story could slip in there. West Side Story was very good.
Well,
Rachel Zegler,
the Academy doesn't even know who's in it.
Well, she's there now. She's going to be a presenter, apparently.
Yeah.
She was invited to be a presenter. Which
So
I don't know. Do you get a
stupid.
seat or do you just stand backstage?
No,
Like,
you
how
get
does that work?
No, yeah, she got her
Okay.
seat, but it's like
I mean, it is preposterous that she wasn't even invited in the first place.
I would go as far as to say downright disgusting that she wasn't. But
Yeah.
what can you do? I mean, that's honestly ridiculous. Like, but yeah.
So I'm gonna hitch my wagon. I think to Power of the Dog.
Okay.
But I would not be shocked if King Richard won.
Yeah, if we're going just straight out prediction who is going to win, I will put my weight behind Power of the Dog. I think that's who will win. I don't personally agree with it. I don't think it was the best picture of the year. I thought it was really good, with some really strong performances. I think there may be some wins from it, or there may be some deserving Oscars in other categories for Power of the Dog. I just don't think Best Picture is, but I will agree with you, and it seems like the chat as well. I think it'll walk away with Best Picture at the end of the day, which is like, okay. There's a long history of things winning Best Picture that were not the best picture of the year, so you live with it.
Yeah. So next, which one do we want to do?
You want to move to you want to just read off Best Score?
Yeah, Best Score.
Which again, I will say, I think it's a crime that Spider-Man: No Way Home was not nominated for Best Score, because I think that Michael Giacchino, I think that maybe was his best work in his career at that time until 3 months later.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
with the Batman.
Yeah.
Because, and I will say this: if the Batman score is not nominated next year, what are we even doing here? What's the point of the category? That score is outrageously good.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
All right, musical original score. We have "Don't Look Up." Don't know how that's in there. Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. To me, I think Dune is a lock for original score.
Yeah.
I thought Hans Zimmer did a fantastic job, as he always does, on the Dune score. Very much a part of the movie.
Absolutely.
I think, I haven't seen Parallel Mothers. I do want to see it. So I think everything in here could win except for Don't Look Up. I really don't. I don't understand how Don't Look Up is in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would go. I think Dune is going to win. I think the only other thing that might have a shot at winning is if for some reason they vote for Encanto and are like, oh, the music in Encanto was really good. And it's like, yeah, like the music was, but like, was the score like, I mean, the score was great, but the score was pretty much just the musical composition of the songs, like,
yeah,
give or take. But, I wouldn't say that it deserves the best score Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think it deserves the best original song. But I don't think those two things should like overlap for Encanto. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I think Dune will win.
Okay. Next, do we want to do?
You want to do screenplay?
Screenplay.
You can do original and adapted real quick.
Yeah. So original screenplay. We have Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World, which is another movie I would like to check out. I'm gonna go with maybe. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give Kenneth Branagh this one. I'm gonna go with Belfast.
I think this is the one. If there is going to be one, I think this is
Pizza
where they give it to PTA for Licorice Pizza.
Interesting.
I don't agree with that at all. I think Belfast, out of that list, I think Belfast definitely had the best one. That was a very moving, like touching movie. I guess we'll cover it when we get to supporting, but Jamie Dornan wasn't nominated, right? I know Kieran Hines was, but
I don't think so. No,
I feel like that's a snub to me. I feel like Jamie Dornan really, he was so good in that.
Was Judy Dench nominated?
Yeah.
Can I ask why? She wasn't bad. She just wasn't really.
She stood and looked out of that door.
She just wasn't really like. She didn't do like.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Maybe am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. No, you're not wrong. Definitely. And like, I get it. The two strongest performances in that movie were probably Kieran Hines and Jamie Dornan, and it's like.
I thought, what's her name? I don't know.
Yeah, the mom,
what's
the
her name?
newcomer. I can't remember her name. But she was fantastic.
Was she nominated?
I can't remember. But yeah, to close off original screenplay, I think this is going to be the one where they give it to Licorice Pizza. I personally want it to be. I'm
going to butcher her name.
Okay.
It's
a very Irish name, I know.
Riona Belfay, I want to say that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I butchered it. I apologize. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
Was she nominated?
Oh, sorry. I don't see her. No, nope, not nominated.
All right. Yeah, I mean, she was great.
What do I know?
Yeah, like her and Jamie Dornan together were fantastic. But I mean, I get it. Like, you want to give the nod to Kieran Hines, because it's kind of a, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, he was fantastic, but also it's kind of like, well, we want to push it for Kieran because it's like he's had such this great body of work, and like we want to make sure he gets nominated, because he was snubbed for Steppenwolf. But
boy.
But yeah, I do think in screenplay, I think it'll be Licorice Pizza. you want to do adapted?
Yeah, so adapted screenplay, we have Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog.
I think this one could be Coda.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the amount of dialogue that is just sign language is great.
Yeah.
I think that's all fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think...
It's like 70% of the movie.
Yeah. As much as I really like Dune, and I thought that they did a good job of adapting, concepts and stuff from the book that might be confusing to somebody who's never read the book.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it was good. It was just, I don't know if it was like the best thing,
Yeah.
The Lost Daughter, The Lost Daughter to me just like, is it like, I liked it when I watched it, but it wasn't like anything that like, I feel like a lot of people love that movie and it just didn't really blow me away.
Yeah.
Personally. Power Dog was good. Drive My Car, still haven't seen. But yeah, I'd say Coda.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what's going on.
I think that if people moved away from Coda on Best Picture, I think that they're going to give it to Coda on some of these other categories. That's kind of how I feel like it'll fall.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think we'll both go Coda on that one. You want to hit the acting categories?
Yeah, so we'll do actor in a leading role and then actress in a leading role.
All right.
So we have Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith for King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. Personally, I would love Andrew Garfield to win. I love Tick, Tick, Boom. I thought he was amazing. But for me, who I think will win, I think it will go to Will Smith because I just thought he was fantastic in King Richard. He was very, very good. Denzel, and I think it might be like the whole Shakespeare thing. Like, oh my God, Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And he was really good, but I thought Will Smith was
better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, this is a tough one because I have not seen King Richard yet. I want to still say Andrew Garfield, but I feel like it's been a long time since Tick, Tick, Boom
yeah,
came
I
out.
feel like it also has been a long time.
And if the Academy voters have shown the public anything, it's their memory is very, very short.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a good chance that even though it came out right at the end of the year, that it was already lost in the shuffle. When you got things like Coda, Power of the Dog, everything like that dropping so close to the voting period and everything. I want it to be Andrew Garfield so bad, but I think I'll go Will Smith. But in terms of what I end up putting on my ballot, it might come down to just the last minute. I'm just going to have to pick one of the two because it really, I don't know. I think those are the only two that are the real contenders for sure. But Will Smith is that thing again of that Leo thing of he's been putting in the work over and over and over again. And, this might just be his year, and think about how many times 2016, The Revenant was not Leo's best movie.
He should have got it for Wolf of Wall Street, for being completely honest. Although, who won that year? Was it McConaughey for... Was that Dallas Buyers Club that year?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe.
But still. I mean, that was for me, like, that was Leo's, like, here's your Oscar. Like, that was fucking amazing what you did.
Yeah.
Revenant was great. Like, he was really good in it, but...
Yeah. But it's like, think about...
It really was like a makeup.
Yeah, and it's like, think about... I'm sure... I can't remember them off the top of my head. It doesn't really matter, but I'm sure there were actors nominated that year for lead actor that gave a better performance than Leo did in The Revenant. Yeah. And that's not to say that Leo didn't deserve the Oscar. He won it because he absolutely deserved the Oscar. He just deserved it 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
Which he didn't get. So I'm thinking that might be something that might happen this year where, whether it's concussion or all the way back to things like, what is it? The Pursuit of Happiness, Ali, everything that he's done, he's just kind of looked over and looked over and looked over, and now he's got this titular character, starring role, biopic, fantastic performance, passion project. Like he's got all the boxes checked. And I feel like it could all just come together for him this year. So I'm gonna go Will Smith. But again, like I said, don't be surprised if on my ballot I change it back to Andrew Garfield or if I go with Will Smith, because I feel like really it could go either way. I feel like there's really no indication either way.
Yeah. Next, we have actress in a leading role. We have Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. To me, this is probably Kristen Stewart's to lose, I want to say. I thought she was really good in Spencer. I really like Spencer as well. So I think this might be her. I think this might be her award.
I liked Spencer. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, I liked it. I thought it was like competently made, but I just
you kind of have to like that style too. Like
I just didn't care for the story.
Okay.
I was just like, I felt like it got a little lost in itself, like with her trying to go to the house, like, you know, like cutting across the lawn and stuff, and that she was like so, I don't know. I feel like it mainly was just like story wise and just like certain plot elements that were just like, because it's a very like surrealistic look at Princess Diana, and I feel like it just kind of lost itself in there. It was kind of like what I said about like Green Knight. Like I was like, I feel like it kind of lost track of its own story at some point. But she was fantastic. She was incredible. Best performance of her career up to this point, for sure. So I agree. As much as I thought that Jessica Chastain was incredible in Eyes of Tammy Faye, same kind of thing. I think that movie was, good, but not great, but with great performances. I think Kristen Stewart is a little more of like, a rallying cry behind her of like, she's been just like Pattinson. Like,
I was just thinking
she's
that.
been putting in, the work in the indie movies and, festival awards and stuff like that. And I feel like this is where they're like, all right, nope, she's finally done it. Like Spencer she got up to the A grade, the big leagues on it. And I feel like you said, it's hers to lose. I could see some, surprise of like a Penelope Cruz or something. Like I could see just like some random thing happening, like an Emily in Paris.
No, she could be the. I haven't seen Parallel Mothers. I know you haven't either, right?
No, yeah. So. Like I said, I saw like a few scenes of it, like when I first started at my new theater. Like we were showing it, so I've seen like one scene with her in it, and I'm like, yeah, she's good. Like she, she was good. Like she got to act a lot in her native tongue, in her what does she speak? Portuguese, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of probably helped with her performance too. But yeah, I think Kristen Stewart has got it pretty well locked. Like we said, it could be anything can really happen, but I feel like she's got it pretty well locked. What about supporting?
Actor in a supporting role, we have Kieran Hines for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons, Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee for The Power of the Dog. To me, I don't think Jesse Plemons has a chance, in my opinion. He was good.
I take that personally.
I'm sorry. He was good in it, but I don't know. I
thought he was better in Windfall.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Well, it's not like an Oscar.
I mean, they're different. Yeah, I was gonna say they're completely different movies.
Yeah, like he's got a lot of heavy lifting to do in Power of the Dog. I just enjoyed him more in Windfall. Like I just thought he was a really great character.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go Kieran Hines, but I would be completely fine with Troy Kotsur taking it.
That is who I think is gonna take it.
Okay.
I think that's one of them that will get in on the Coda buzz of. Maybe now this is my big play here. Like my big play is that the conversation has shifted enough that Coda won't win Best Picture. So I'm thinking it's going to get all these other ones, but maybe it'll win Best Picture and then not get anything else, so it could be all thrown
Is it
off,
also, and I might be completely out of pocket saying this, is it also fair to say that it's more of a, I don't know how to say it, like, I don't want to say like, it's not, because it's not a burden, but it's more of a heavy lifting to do, because you are just, you're signing, but you're also really just acting with your face. Like, you can't convey like your meaning through words. Like, you have to do it a different way.
Yeah.
And do you think that means more?
I feel like it would just depend on the voter.
Yeah.
Like, whether if I was voting, yes, absolutely. I mean, you're working so much harder to try to achieve the same thing. But I think it just depends. I feel like also another reason why maybe it won't be him is just because maybe people won't see it that way, which, sucks, because they deserve better than that. But I still think it'll be him. I still think it'll be Troy Kotsur. But I could also see it being Kieran Hines, because that was kind of the original push, was that, how good Kieran Hines is. And he is really, really good. He's really great in that movie. He's got like some nice subtle moments too. And then, of course, I'm not going to spoil it, but, where his character, winds up and how everything resolves itself, is very emotional and everything. But yeah, I'm going to go, my final pick is Troy Kotsur for Coda.
Then actress in a supporting role, we have Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judy Dench for Belfast, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Anjanou Ellis. For some reason I could not read that. For King Richard. I think Ariana DeBose has us locked up.
Yeah, I agree.
That seems to be all the buzz. I thought she definitely was fantastic in West Side Story. Yeah.
Rachel Zegler was great too.
Rachel Zegler. She was the lead, obviously.
They both went hand in hand, but she, DeBose like stole the show, basically, essentially.
Again, no shame to not take shots at Dame Judi Dench, but I don't really understand why she's nominated.
Yeah.
She was good again. Like I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of off the rails on here.
No, I agree with you. I think she's given, some great performances, but it's like, I'd nominate her for like, I don't know. I'd nominate her for like Skyfall over this. Like, I don't know. I feel like she was
not
good.
Cats.
Depends on who's making the Jellicle choice, I guess. Oh man, what a movie!
Yes.
What a role! The role of a lifetime, really. I would definitely agree with you, though. I feel like she was really good in Belfast, but it's just not. I don't know. I feel like it's probably worthy of a nomination, but I don't think it's worthy of a win.
Notice that we have not heard anything from Tom Hooper since.
Yeah.
I just looked at his IMDb. It was like no upcoming projects, and I was like, oh boy. But
guy.
Yeah,
Guy made the King's Speech, and then he's just gonna end his career on Cats. Oh my god.
I'm gonna go with Ariana DeBose for this one. I just think it's a slam dunk.
Absolutely.
What else do we want to
director.
Directing?
Yeah.
All right, directing. We have Belfast, Kenneth Branagh, Drive My Car, Rizuki Hamaguchi. Sorry if I butchered that name. Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson, The Power of the Dog, Jane Campion, and West Side Story, Steven Spielberg.
I am going to go with Steven Spielberg. I really want it to be Kenneth Branagh. I think there's a shot that it will be Kenneth Branagh, because this is the only Oscar that he personally would win, unless it won like Best Picture. Mm-hmm. I really want it to be Kenneth Branagh, but I think they're going to give it to Steven Spielberg, because I think it's like, well, Spielberg's been kind of operating in this like,
I want to do this movie.
And kind of he's been in this nebulous like Bridge of Spies, Tintin, like kind of he's been in kind of this like B to C list area of his career, I feel. Not to say that both of those aren't good movies. They're both good movies. And, like, you know, I'm sure a lot of the Academy was like, you know, well, the last movie you did was Ready Player One. What is that? You know what I mean? Like, what, like, that, you know, I'm sure the Academy looks down. If they look down on a Marvel movie, I'm sure they look down on Ready Player One. But that being said, like we talked about just a few weeks ago when I rewatched it, like, I really enjoy Ready Player One. I think that's a great Spielberg movie. That being said, I think a lot of people were impressed with him with this movie. And like you said, that it's a passion project. It's something that he's wanted to do for a long, long time. But also we've gotten some storyline, some stories coming out from the Hollywood trades with, you know, anonymous quotes saying, like, you know, that it was, you know, it was too much like the original. It was, you know, whatever.
Okay. They're gonna say like it was grueling on set or something like that.
No. Like just Academy voters being like, you know, well, what's the point? It's just a remake, you know. And it's like, well, he did a lot with it. Like, I mean, it's Steven Spielberg. Like, you know, and I'm one, you know, I talked about on the show. I was like, what's the point? Like, you know, I'm sure I'm not. It's fantastic. Like, it's a really good movie, and it's a really good remake. Yeah, so I think it'll go to Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to agree. I think it might be like, you know, granted, though, this gets into the question, though, like, if he wins Best Director and then he doesn't win Best Picture, like, how does that work? You know what I mean? Granted, they do that, literally every, you know, like, Roma won. It's happened. Right? Like, Roma won Best Director.
Best Director, but it did not win
Best Picture.
Yeah.
But then you get, like, well, Chloe Zhao won Best Director last year, and Best Picture was Nomadland. Yeah. Well, although, again, okay, sorry. There has been a, like, 2-year streak because Bong won Best Director and then Best Picture. Yeah. So, you know, but, yeah, I'd probably go West Side Story. Although, actually, I might go Jane Campion because, no, I'd probably go Jane Campion because I feel like she's been winning. And I know sometimes it's not really a signal of what the voters voted for, but I feel like she's been winning the Best Director awards in all the other award shows. Yeah,
like Power of the Dog, it's across all the award shows, like the BAFTAs, SAG, everything. It has the most number of nominations, and now with just the Oscars left, it has the most number of wins too. So it's like, you know, it clearly has struck a chord with, you know, voters and critics and stuff. But
so you think no chance for PTA?
I don't think okay. I don't think there's any chance. I think he's directed better films. But also I think it's like the backlash with the movie, some of the stuff in it. I don't know. I just feel like there's too much going against it. And I feel like Best Director is such like a high profile one. Yeah. It's like they're not going to give it to him. That's why I think maybe.
So then everybody goes, "Oh, we got to check out this Licorice Pizza," and everybody goes, "What the what?"
Yeah, like that's why I feel like they might give him like screenplay, because it is a good story, but then again, there's some issues with it.
All right, so we can do cinematography, and then I don't know if we want to do anything after that.
We'll probably end on cinematography.
So cinematography, and this is just kind of a close and shut case to me, but we have Dune, Greg Fraser, Nightmare Alley, Dan Lautzen. The Power of the Dog, Ari Wegner, Tragedy of Macbeth, Bruno Delbano, and West Side Story, Janusz Kaminski. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry. For me, it's Dune. Maybe Power of the Dog I'd throw in there.
Who shot Power of the Dog?
Power of the Dog was Ari Wegner.
Oh, okay.
But to me, it's Dune, and then I think Greg Fraser went from Dune to the Batman, if I recall. So,
yeah. Again, he's another one. He better be nominated next year.
Yeah,
because that movie is fantastic. It's Dune. I think
it's
for Dune. This one as well. I mean, I feel like Dune is going to win a lot of the technical stuff, but I feel like in the Oscar-y world, I think not that cinematography isn't a technical award, but it kind of rides that line of it's partly a technical award, partly more of like a, you know, higher caliber award. I think Greg Fraser deserves it, and I think the movie deserves it because that movie is incredible. And I feel like, too, it's one thing to shoot beautiful, real photography in real locations and stuff, and have the end result look fantastic of the photography. It's another thing to shoot beautiful, real photography and leave room for beautiful visual effects to enhance it, add to it, add ships inside of your amazing, shots. And Greg Fraser did all of that. I mean, you just think about some of the scenes on, Arrakis, and then, I forget the name, but
Kaladin.
Yeah, Kaladin. Like, especially on Kaladin, like when they're the scene with him and Oscar Isaac when they're talking about previous generations of their family, and like the waves are crashing and they're on like the cliff side, and it's just like you forget you're watching science fiction. Like, it's just beautiful cinematography. Like, it just looks so crisp and clean. The entire film is just like so good. Like, it just looks so good. Visual effects even taken out of it, it just looks so good. Even interior scenes, like with the High Priestess or whatever, with the box scene inside the library. That was
They're talking
that
about
was
I forget what his name is, the Sardaukar like leader or like preacher guy.
Oh, the Mongolian throat singing.
Yeah.
No, but I mean that was even great too. Like the rain, like the sequence in the rain when all the soldiers are getting ready, like the Harkonnens are like gearing up to go into battle or whatever. It's fantastic. Also, the way that he shot Stellan Skarsgård, because I mean the prosthetics do a lot to emphasize that character. Stellan obviously does a lot to bring that character to life, but also the way that that character is shot, and that it sometimes is shot like so wide, just so you almost like feel his power just through how much of the frame he's taking up and stuff. And I feel like all that comes down to Greg Fraser and Denis' like vision for the movie. I think if it wins I think it deserves score and everything, but I think if Dune wins for anything, it better be this category. I would hate to see it go to anything else. I really would.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so that'll do it for this episode. This week, keep an eye out for our official ballots that we'll tweet out, post on Instagram. And if we had a community page on here, which we haven't like unlocked yet, I believe, correct?
Yeah,
we posted that here. But thank you for the subs we've been getting in the past few days. We've now passed 360. We're at 361.
We can confidently say moving
forward, live shows will be on this channel going forward. We've definitely seen a improved algorithm that we were hoping for. So I think we will definitely be going forward, with this channel. I'll probably post our ballots on TikTok too. Follow us there. I've been one of your hosts, TJ Cornwell, and that'll do it for me.
Yeah, and I've been your other host, Sean Monk. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. We will also be live tweeting the Oscars as best as we can, keeping up with everything. But yeah, so make sure that you are following us on Twitter at the official PFN, like you see right there at the bottom of your screen. You can also follow us; those are our personal Twitter handles as well. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. Like we said again, thank you guys for the growth that we've been seeing lately. We really appreciate it. We were around 350 for many, many months. The fact that we're now in the 360s. And, just going up from there and everything is great. There's a lot of new reactions that I posted today. We had a lot of trailers dropping in like the past day or two that I got caught up on. The trailer reaction for Alex Garland's Men.
Yes,
did you watch that trailer?
I did not.
So that you got to watch that trailer. That trailer
okay.
is awesome. I'm going to throw it up here before you leave. That trailer is awesome. Again, Jesse Buckley, not nominated this year. That's up on the channel. My X review is up on the channel. Windfall review is up on the channel, and the TikTok and everything. But yeah, most importantly, share this video. Share this stream. Share our channel with anybody that you guys know that likes film, likes TV, anything entertainment. Yeah, and we will see you guys in the next video. Boom.